Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the new JP units and Espers that came out last week. Most of you guys are probably excited for the Glaciella and Victoria EX news coming out next week. You're going to have to hold on to your horses for that. Today, we're going to be talking about Tonberry, Ruinstern, Helena, and we are going to be talking about Vadim. Let's go ahead and dig in. All right, so we're going to start off with the one Esper on the list. I should also point out that we will be talking about Verne as well, who was the new Lightning Select unit that will be coming out this week. Looking at Tonberry, interestingly, Tonberry is kind of like a Lightning Magic Esper. We do love the Disable. Going to his skill tree, you can see basically he just got more Lightning attack up, which is to be expected. He did also get some more accuracy, so he is going to be probably best in slot for Skull now, I would imagine. Not too many lightning mages really out there. Salir as well would be a suitable option. So not the best Esper upgrade, but you know, it's not crazy terrible. Taking a look at Verne real quick. Now this is an interesting one. So her TMR Light Halberd is going to have attack 142, critical hit rate 3, but the passive is interesting. Basically, if you land a critical hit, you're going to gain accuracy 30 for one turn, is my understanding, which is fascinating, I would say. I think it definitely kind of coincides with what we were talking about previously with Verne, where she may be really good with Cloud and in a critical hit rate build. Even though her mastery ability gives defense penetration, not critical hit rate. But again, something else to talk about since her main job is Lancer. She has access to a ton of crits already. Taking a look at her stats here, you know, nothing too remarkable that stands out. Let's just run to the builder real quick. And you'll see that she has agility 57 here when she is maxed. She has attack 554, agility 57, pretty okay, but I would say on the lower end, not something I'm too excited for. Blind resistance 50, paralyzed resistance 50, and only 10% resistance to petrify. So the resistances just aren't really there for her either. Nothing really special, right? 5% slash resist, 5% weak to pierce, 10% resistant to blunt, 10% resistance to missile, and 10% weak to magic. So again, nothing too remarkable in this kit yet. Looking over at her skills, I do love that it is her passive piercing attack that got boosted. And it did get boosted quite significantly, so this is a no-brainer set here. She is going to get Pierce Attack 15, Agility 20%, and Attack 40%, which, you know, it's 4 or 5 turns for the Agility and Attack, but most of the time I would say the fight is over in 5 turns a lot of the times. Taking a look at her ability, she gets an upgrade to Nighthawk, which, you know, still has range height 1, still has a pretty good range here. I don't think its range does get upgraded by 1, it looks like. And its damage is upgraded from 121% to 165%. So Nighthawk is one of the better Lancer abilities, and it is pretty cool to see that she got a buff to that. Her other kind of unique thing here is her 25 ability, Assault Formation, which is basically like, I don't know what I would call this. It basically restores 250 CT for an ally, and then restores 250 CT for yourself. So it's kind of like, gosh, I don't even know when this situation would occur that you would use this, because it's basically like, I have nothing else to do, so I'm going to accelerate my action and your action. But then I wonder if the cost of taking the action, right, versus hitting wait, I mean, depending on what's better, it definitely feels like they're giving us some more CT tools. What I would love to see, though, is more knowledge or information, I guess, when you're using these CT abilities in either manual or auto, right? Like how this will affect you, as opposed to having your character wait, right, or not take an action, would be interesting to see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new EX units. Ruinstern Ex, of course. I know Cabbage has showcased him on his channel a little bit. Taking a look at his EX stats, You know, he doesn't get very much HP up here for his unit stats. He does get 35 more attack, agility +2, critical hit rate 8, which is cool. We do see another 500 HP, no more agility down here, but 43 more attack. So of course, what you would expect with Ruinstern, more attack, right? A little bit more agility. No passive increases. And in fact, all of his ability modifications are going to be for his abilities here. So he's going to get an upgrade to Hazard Injury. And then he's also going to get an upgrade to Roar of Ruin. So it does look like instead of Roar Ruin, he's going to get Threat of Ruin, which will decrease AP consumption 25 for 3 turns to self. Pretty interesting. I mean, this is an ability he's going to be using anyway, if he is going on the offensive. So it's not like it's a bad buff. I think it's pretty good. I would say this is like a moderate buff, right? Taking a look at his other upgrade, which was to Hazard Crash, it is going to go from 2 times to 3 times. It is still range height 1, AoE height 2, and it does look like it's going to be attacking the same area. So the only modification this is really going to get is still 30% defense down, or 30 defense down. It's still consume 10% of HP, whereas before it was consumed 20%, so it's going to take less HP, and it's going to decrease the opponent's healing power by 50 on opponents. Pretty good. I would say not the best in the world. Is it going to be good enough to bring him kind of out of retirement? I think that's the question everybody's going to be asking, and kind of what we're going to be paying attention to. For his job level 25 ability, Barrier Break, I do like this. It's interesting. The way it's laid out, it's almost a replacement to Mighty Break, right? Mighty Break, 121%, decreases attack 43%. Pretty high range here. You can see that it goes up to 5. And then you have Barrier Break, which is 165% modifier that goes up to range 4, and it's 22 AP versus 12 AP. So it's another ranged attack, which gives him a little bit more flexibility in terms of dealing more damage at range, or choosing to decrease the attack of the opponent at range. I do like that. I think having options for ranged attacks does make a character more interesting a lot of the times. We do have Helena and Vadim left over here that got EXs. Helena did get some... I thought she got the agility, but she did not get the agility. She did get 300 HP here, got another 500 HP down here. So she did get some nice HP increase, got another 40 magic, 10 magic, 10 or 13 dexterity. So no agility increase, it looks like, which is unfortunate since she is an MR unit, right? Looking at her skills though, her skills are interesting. Deep Emerald Echo, so buff duration, debuff duration, and it's also gonna give AoE resistance 15. Are you going to be setting this? It's an interesting question, especially since she has high-speed casting. She has, for example, magic resistance 12% she could set. I think the AoE resistance 15 is pretty good, and it kind of lines up with the, you know, Leonis family AoE resistance thing that they got going on. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to set all the time, but it's definitely worth the level, and it's definitely an interesting buff, right? Taking a look at her abilities and her modifications, she's going to get a modification to Bar Aurora, and then she's going to get her job level 25 ability. Bar Aurora is going to go from just increasing wind resistance 25% here. They are both range height 2, AoE height 1, and then it's also going to increase earth resistance 25% and increase defense 15 for 3 turns to allies. Like this, makes her a little bit more defensive, definitely gives these sort of resistances to units that might need them. I'm kind of curious if we're going to see Helena EX come to global early with the dominance of 2B. I would wonder, because even in class match, I did see Helena being used a little bit. I did actually see some Bar Aurora compositions while I was doing class match last week. So it would be really interesting to see if Helena EX does end up coming to global a little bit early. Her job level 25 ability is a little weird. Increases debuff resistance for all attack type resistances, 100 for 3 turns to allies. Not amazing. Maybe it'll have its niche use, but I'm not too stoked for this. I guess it is kind of one of the only abilities that does what this does, right? It's very unique, but I don't see a world that this is exceptionally relevant in. Again, it could be really good if you're like going up against Gilgamesh and you don't want to get your slash attack resistance lowered, which I'm pretty sure this is going to protect you against. We'll just have to see. Vadim SR unit here does get a huge chunk of HP increase into his EX form, about what you would expect. He does also get some agility. This is, I was mixing him and Helena up. He does get agility 2, additional critical hit rate 3. Of course, being a lightning element unit, he is going to be, you know, thought of a little bit more because Cloud is in kind of the current Thunder world, right, out there. Especially in Global, we have 9S. In terms of his skills, though, he kind of falls into a specific category. And what I mean by that is he gets the upgrade to Thief's Knowledge, right, which will be the move 1 agility 12% passive. It's also going to decrease the chance of him getting targeted. And he fills a very niche role, which is Steel Heart getting buffed. Now, it's not a huge buff. In fact, the only buff that it's going to be getting is that it's going to go from range height 1 to range height 2. Do I think this is good? I mean, it's not terrible, right? And of course, having a buff to Steel Heart for a single unit, there are going to be situations where you're going to want to have Steel Heart with a range height of 2. You never know when, you know, there might be like a specific tower floor. Maybe there's going to be some PvE shenanigans that you want to pull off, right, that your opponent might not be expecting. Whether that's class match, live PvP. Sorry, I said PvE. I meant PvP. His job level 25 ability is basically going to be Sleep Spin. Nothing too exciting. 175% modifier, and it's going to be a 25% chance to put your opponent to sleep. So even when you're putting something to sleep, it's not going to be a high percentage, and I don't think this is going to really change or make him as a unit. I think the Steel Heart will. I kind of wish that the Steel Heart modification had gone to Mia, since I feel like Mia is used as a Steel Heart unit just a little bit more. But this is going to work great for Vadim, and I think a lot of players will actually EX Vadim just for the Steel Heart modification. Anyway, everybody, hope you're all having a great Saturday. We'll be on stream later tonight, finishing up the rest of my tower clears for those of you that want to join me. As always, if you do want to support me, make sure you go to dig.gs/coins to purchase all of your Amazon coin needs, and have a great rest of your day, everybody. See you later.